Dr. Kathy, why did she have an affair? Everything I read online says that people who stray are unhappy in their primary relationships. At the same time, you and other people say it's never the betrayed's fault. These two things seem at odds with each other. How do I make sense of it all? Oh, thank you. This is a really great question and something I wish I would have maybe addressed sooner. Let me explain a little bit further. So before someone strays, they might be unhappy in their relationship. Not everybody who strays is unhappy. Sometimes they are scared or fearful. But that's only part of the story. For the most part, people who stray they have avoidant attachment, which means they prefer to avoid conflicts and avoid feelings. They would rather just shut that all down and suppress that all. So this tends to make them have pretty poor communication skills because they don't want to practice this. They don't want to talk about it. They want to avoid it. Also, they tend to have pretty poor coping skills. People develop avoidant attachment when their caregivers or parents or people close to them tend to tell them that their feelings don't matter, or they get somehow harmed when they share their feelings. So they learn the best way to deal with their feelings is to just really try to ignore them, pretend they don't exist, shut them down. As a result, they don't learn great ways to cope with them or even really how to feel or identify them. So these people are in a lot of emotional pain, and they often have mood issues. They often have depression or anxiety that they're really struggling with. And that doesn't mean that everybody who has depression or anxiety has avoidant attachment. It just means that often these things go hand in hand. And many people who stray have some unresolved or unhealed trauma that they may not even be aware of because their, upbringing seemed normal to them. So they don't think of it as, traumatic. We just have to realize that long-term chronic neglect emotionally is basically a trauma. Or there's some kind of trigger that happens that puts these people in a world of pain and they don't know how to deal with it. So they choose an affair as a painkiller. Affairs are really a big, giant, super unhealthy painkiller. People choose this as a way to get validation and reassurance that they're loved and safe and valuable. Now, there were many other choices that would have been a lot healthier that they could have made, right? They could have talked to you. They could have talked to a therapist. They could have joined a support group. They could have read a self-help book. There were many, many things that they could have done that were healthier. Even some unhealthy things that they could have chosen that would have still probably been better than having an affair. But they chose the affair for a variety of reasons. And so they made that choice, right? You didn't make that choice, so you're not responsible for them choosing that. Even if you played a role in the relationship being strained, they have to still own the fact that they made many, many choices to get them to this place. That part isn't on you. So it is not the betrayed's fault that the affair happened. This likely would have happened no matter who they were in a relationship with, because at some point someone was going to disappoint them or not be enough or not make them feel enough. They didn't have the skills to talk about that and cope with that in a healthy way. So this was their responsibility, right? It's not their fault that they experienced neglect and as a result developed avoidant attachment, but it is their responsibility to heal from that. Okay, hope that helps.